Hello! So we have a Discord channel. I've decided to put it at the start of the video just so that you can all see. Make sure you join it. It's the link in the description below. It's going to be the hub of the GenX community where we're going to talk about everything. Whether it's crypto markets, normal markets, memes, gaming, you name it, it's going to be there. So the market's been pretty poor and quite scary over the past few weeks. Bitcoin's down 70% alongside a lot of other altcoins that are down around the same range. But times like these present the best buying opportunities. So I want to share my thoughts on the market today with you guys and kind of share what I'm doing during this time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So we'll start with Bitcoin first. We sat at around a $30,000 range for about a month or so. So it's quite a lot of sideways action. So if we just look on the chart here, I'll get rid of the indicator. And you can actually see my levels, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. So for about a month, we were sat at this $30,000 range until recently when we took this quite large dip down. And what we've managed to do is actually test the previous all-time high of Bitcoin, the all-time high of 2018. So the same day this happened, the FOMC, which is the Federal Open Market Committee, had a meeting in America that concluded the largest rate increase since 1994. And for them, it's a bit of an attempt to actually cool off the surging inflation that we've been having in the recent years that we've had. Prices did pump shortly after the meeting, but quickly started to dump again just the following day. I think most people are expecting a $20,000 bounce for Bitcoin, and then we go up only from there, which would be nice, but I feel like that's not quite going to happen. From being in the market a while now, it seems like when the majority are saying that something will happen, it most likely won't happen. I personally think Bitcoin could drop quite a bit lower than what we're expecting around that $20,000 mark. As you can see from my support lines, I've got a few. We'll go back to the previous all-time high there, sort of zoom in a little bit. If it doesn't, I feel like it's going to hit this level, most likely around $17,000. And if it does break lower, maybe 13,000 would be the very, very max I would hope for anyway. But again, it's really hard to kind of determine where things are actually going to stop dropping, because I think there's more factors than just technical analysis that is at play here. If you saw my news video, you'll know already that Celsius suspended withdrawals along with Binance suspending theirs for a while, and crypto companies have been laying staff off, and it seems a bit doom and gloomy, I suppose. So that's definitely a big factor in the price driving down. In terms of Ethereum, Ethereum's been an interesting one. You can see I've got my levels here as well. Ethereum had taken, I'd say, a bigger hit. It had already tested and broken through its 2018 all-time high before Bitcoin's. And I think potentially that's because of, again, the difficulty bomb and the fears that maybe the merger is further back. But also, again, all of these issues going on with Celsius and staked Ethereum and all that, sort of depegging as well. I think there's quite a lot of fear just on that side. So as you can see, Ethereum broke through the support that we were having around here, and it didn't take long for it to really dip and break through all of the other ones I'd set. The other ones were set for the all-time high, and then the leg lower than the all-time high. And as you can see, we're pretty close to testing the $1,000 range. Very, very close. And it makes me wonder whether we are going to break through it. If we do break through it, and if Bitcoin also breaks through its all-time high, I feel like we could go lower to maybe around the $800 mark. I'll actually add a support line in for that. It's not quite an updated chart, but there you go. So yeah, I think that's as low as I would see Ethereum going if Bitcoin breaks down as well. But again, you never know. You never know. In terms of like a potential buy zone where I think I might be sort of DCAing into Ethereum and Bitcoin and things like that again, for Ethereum, I would say it's probably between these ranges from just below 1,000 to here. That's where I'd like to start DCAing. That would be the perfect price point for me. I think this is sort of the price range I want to be when it comes to buying Ethereum sort of over the long term and DCAing in, but it's hard to say whether it's truly going to hit these levels. It all just depends on what's going to happen with Celsius, with Three Arrows Capital as well, also having a big issue with liquidity and the potential of them actually liquidating. It all depends what they do really. If things do work out and everything looks positive and Celsius is okay, then I think we should see quite a nice bounce, but I think a lot of it's sort of hanging on just how well these companies are going to come out of this. So one thing I thought I'd mention as well is that USDD has been under the dollar peg for quite a few days now, which is making people believe that Tron is going to follow the same footsteps as what Luna and UST did. And I did a bit of research into it myself. I don't see it doing the same thing. I think it's a temporary depeg, and I think people are scared, and then maybe forces that are trying to push this price down to make it look worse. But from what I've seen on the website and the treasury backing of USDD, it is way more than what UST had. As you can see from the photo I'll put up on screen, it already has a lot of assets ready to deploy to keep the stablecoin to $1, and it's not just all one asset that it's got. It's got USDC, it's got its own token Tron, and it's got some others in there as well. So I don't see USDD depegging for much longer. I feel like the price is just going to stabilize, but we'll see how it goes. It was another algorithm coin that's pretty similar to Luna. I'd done a video on it before. Apart from it just had a bit more sort of over collateralization, I would say. I'd say my biggest concern right now is the fact that these companies that manage billions of dollars aren't really managing the money that well. You've got companies that are getting so close to the liquidation price now, and it really just shows how poor the money's been managed. And people like us are the ones that have to suffer for that. I think it's sad as well that so many people have actually taken a step away from traditional jobs to something as exciting as crypto, with it being a new and modern space. They're actually just being laid off now because companies have poorly managed the hiring process. It's frustrating to see as it knocks the confidence of the people that decided to take that first step, and it sort of knocks the confidence of everyone else that's watching these companies as well. I feel like if traditional markets are looking really bad too, then it doesn't really bode well for crypto. I feel like they're still a little bit too similar. I think they do correlate. I mean, if traditional markets are looking bad too, people aren't going to want to invest the money into more risky assets, are they? Our last bear market lasted around 2 years, and there's nothing really to stop this crypto winter lasting that long as well. Despite all these negative things, I have some positive things to say about it, and sort of some things that I'm doing as well. There's definitely a few things that I'm thinking about now while the market is down like this. I mean, number one, everyone said, you know, when Bitcoin was at that $60,000, $69,000 range, people wanted the $30,000 range so they could buy back lower, knowing it's going to go higher again, and people were asking for, you know, such a big decrease, and now we've got it. So it's the perfect time for people to be buying that did ask for that. During the end of the bull market in 2018, I lost most of my gains, and I kind of left the space just like the majority of the retail investors did. And in 2020, I got back into it while moves had already really been made. After that, I said that I would never ever bury my head in the sand ever again. I think times like these are the best times to really find projects that are building something to last during these times. Finding projects like Solana in 2020 and buying early could have yielded you insane rewards. So that's what I'm here doing today, is just, and every other day, is trying to find those early Solanas so that I can make a better life of myself and my family. That's what I'm here for. I would say one of the main things that I'm doing differently this time compared to before is I'm still keeping on top of news articles and also just content in general. I'm starting to watch more streamers every single day and sort of incorporating crypto streamers into my daily sort of routine, and also just crypto content in general. I'm learning how to trade properly now with indicators, so when the markets will take a turn for the worse in the future, I can make money no matter which way it goes. I think that's the real position that you really have to be in to reach your goals, or it is for me personally. I've said this on the channel a few times now. Down days like these are the time for homework. If you want to learn how to trade, then you can just load up a paper trading account with some indicators and learn how to use it and learn how to trade. It's a good market, I'd say, to trade in, as volatile as it is. But it's an enjoyable market, and it's a market where you can make a lot of money, even during these times. If you think that you just need more experience trading, then you can just load up a small account and start finding ranges and just trading them. Find those small projects that could be in the next bull run. There's still so much you can do while the markets are looking like this, so don't leave. Please stay. I think another thing you could be doing as well is just look at potentially building up a list of websites that you can use as well. Something like an analytics list where you can figure out sort of on-chain data where the total value locked is stored across chains. Just things like that, and just have that sort of knowledge built up so you can always access it. Making sure that you are the most comfortable you can be. So that's where we're at for this week. It's quite a lot's happened. We've had a lot of price movement especially, and we're still around those lows of the 20,000 for Bitcoin and also around the 1,000 for Ethereum too. It's going to be interesting to see where we're going to be in a week's time, which is why I'm going to do another similar video like this, a bit of a market analysis, a bit of a news update, and just sort of keep everyone in the loop during this time. And yeah, that's going to be everything. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow the YouTube, TikTok, Telegram, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.